Good evening, I'm Pia Ontiveros. This is News.PH, but it's not politics as usual. Tonight, we talk about the crash courses for legislators and local government officials. We have with us Managing Director Rodney Hagulino from the Development Academy of the Philippines, Director Urma Manlangit from the Ateneo School of Government, and Representative-elect Gus Tamunding from the 2nd District of Parañaque City. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Director Hagulino, Director Manlangit, and Congressman-elect Tamunding, or Rodney, Urma, and Gus. That's shorter.
Yeah.
Okay, let's begin with Rodney and Urma. Tell us the rationale for the courses that you offer. Rodney, let's begin with you.
Yeah, we offer a customized program for newly elected officials, both at the national level and the local level.
Okay, when you say national, that means?
It means senators and congresspersons.
And then local level, yung mga mayors,
that includes the mayor, governors, and the legislative branch also in the local department.
What are all these courses?
For the local government, it's the executive coaching program for the newly elected officials. We term that program Local Governance and Development Program.
Okay, and then for the national,
it's for Congress. It's legislative coaching program for new elect, and we name that program Development Legislation and Governance.
Okay. Hindi ba ito mahirap? Para bang nagiging crash course talaga siya, no? Everything they need to know squeezed into 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. And then ang laki-laki ng responsibilidad nila.
That's why when we say it's a customized program, we take the essentials of the kind of governance that we'll be bringing to Congress or to the local government unit. And usually the faculty that we get are really practitioners. So we don't get academics without experience.
Okay. Urma Manlangit, tell us about what the Ateneo School of Government offers.
Actually, we have a lot of programs. It's called Local Governance and Public Management. We have also Effective Legislation and Governance. So these are some of the courses. And most of our courses are actually directed to new and reform-oriented public officials. We want, as much as possible, to build a cadre of new breed of ethical leaders who can really, demonstrate good governance.
Okay, why? What's wrong with the old breed? If the new breed is ethical.
Well, we are into the era of good governance, I think. And we want to populate that. And because we are an institution, a graduate, our program is actually called graduate program for, teka muna. It's called the Graduate School for Leaders and Public Management.
Yeah, okay. You don't cater to the old breed like you were saying? Hindi sila kasama? Para bang ganon?
Hindi naman, but I think yung pag-include sa mga bagong elect na officials, actually, it's a good time to develop them, to give them a kind of paradigm. Is actually building that paradigm of good governance and ethical leadership. So we are offering, part of our courses are actually heavy on adaptive leadership, because I think that's what this country needs. And that's what this bureaucracy needs. Leaders who can really demonstrate ethical leadership.
Okay. Is this a case of old dogs can't learn new tricks?
Not really. It's not a case. No, not a case. But we want to more or less change their mindset. or in a way transform. Maybe that's a better term.
Transform. Or
Transform.
catch them at this early stage bago sila
Bago
tumanda
sila
sa mundo ng
sumabak
politika.
sa politika. Kasi it's easier, I think, for them to appreciate what good governance is at this point in time, when we have a fertile soil for good governance. I think there are macro fundamentals in the environment for politics now is actually better because
Meaning?
of, meaning that we have new initiatives in terms of making government more transparent and accountable. I think that is what we want to develop among the new leaders that we have, especially those who are new in public office.
Rodney, you made a course specifically for Leni Robredo,
Yeah.
correct? The Development Academy of the Philippines, Ateneo School of Government, and Bicol University. Can you tell us about that course? Well, for Leni and her team, no?
Yeah. This course was designed specifically for Congresswoman Leni Robredo, and the leadership of the three major institutions, Ateneos of Government, the AP, and BU, would like to transcend their specific idiosyncrasies. We
Like
want to
what?
gather the best of the best
Oo.
in terms of providing Leni the best learning opportunity.
Okay. So it's tailor-fit for her. So if, for example, you would do this for another congressperson,
Then we tailor fit it to the requirements or the needs of.
I was going
specific-
through the course outline, and it's impressive. Those who are going to, or who already did speak in the course, no, of, sa outline.
Actually, today is their final day.
Yeah.
They're completing their legislative action agenda formulation, and it's Professor Ernie Garilao who's facilitating it for
Former
them.
DAR Secretary.
Yeah.
Pero what was interesting here is, like, well, you mentioned Ernie Garilao. There are many other names here
Yeah.
of very well-respected people, and all these people are flocking to Leni Robredo, to this course at least.
Because the same mode that she carries the legacy of Jess, the legacy of good governance, which resonates also the kind of practice that this administration is trying to push forward. So that's why do you want to be part of that one bandwagon of good governance?
So can you tell us what is in this course specifically designed for Leni?
This course actually has 4 specific themes. Of course, the first theme concentrates more on the challenges of development, governance, and leadership, so that a newly elected officials has a context, so that because many of the congressmen thought that they're just serving their constituents in the district, but being in Congress, and Congress as a national institution, then they're part of that building a national consensus for change and transformation.
Okay.
And of course, the second module really concentrates more on Congress as a craft and as a practice. So that's why we invited former congresspersons to share their experiences and best practices of Congress.
Okay.
And then there are special concerns that the congresspersons need to understand. And finally, we cap that one with the formulation of their legislative agenda. We term that one making a difference.
And this is something that she will actually carry out in Congress.
Of course. So that's why in the formulation of her legislative agenda right now, there's a timeline, there's a milestone. There, for example, what will you do in your first 100 days in office, your first 1 year, 2 years, and then your 3 years. So there's a specific target, and of course the rigors of really trying to assess the situation in the ground, and of course the kind of policy advocacy that he will push at the national level.
Urma, can you tell us about the different courses that the Ateneo School of Government offers?
The Ateneo School of Government is providing these courses for the new elected leaders from the subnational to the national government. And it's quite the same with the Development Academy of the Philippines, because we have a consortium. Actually, this is a program that is really in partnership with the Development Academy of the Philippines. So we are contributing a segment to it. And because our advocacy is actually on leadership, that's what we are handling. It's not only being able to manage the legislature. I mean, it's not managing how they prepare bills, because that's something that is done, of course, by the staff. But it's more giving them a wider view so that they can think of programs and projects that they can move forward in terms of bills, and in terms of things that can really help in moving the country forward in terms of development.
When is this held and where?
We are actually holding it for people from Nueva Vizcaya, the Zamboanga group of new legislators, and the one in Bulacan. So,
So you go to the areas, or they come here, or what?
one is that we go to the areas. Actually, it's off-site, and so we give these courses to them. So it's really improving the way they do governance. They will do governance. Preparing them for the work that they have to do in terms of crafting, laws. At the local level is actually ordinances for the local legislators. For the congressman is actually bills.
Okay. Congressman-elect Gus Tamunting of Parañaque is also with us. Gus, you not really signed up. You're forced to attend a course for freshman congressmen. No? That's beginning July 16. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, right now we still don't have the outline, but definitely this was my experience. I attended the last session of Congress, of the 15th Congress, and as a neophyte congressman, when I found out that there was going to be a course for new legislators, new congressmen, I was very, very happy kasi alam niyo, pagdating mo sa Kongreso, ibang-ibang pakiramdam, ang laki, nakakatakot, nakakasindak. At kung wala ka pang ganitong kurso, talagang sabi ko, talagang medyo kakabahan ka talaga. I'm already the vice mayor of the city of Parañaque.
For 2
and of
terms?
course, it's different for 2 terms. Siyempre, it's different, no?
But before that, you had experience as councilor?
Yes, and
4
also as a
terms?
presiding officer, no? Pero medyo level up na to. I want to see how bills are passed, and you also have the Senate that you have to deal with, so the legislative process has to be studied well. And definitely, mag-i-enroll ako kay Rodney at saka yung staff ko, saka kay Urma at saka yung aking staff para talagang mapaghandaan namin ang bagong responsibilidad na binigay po sa akin ng mga kababayan ko sa Parañaque.
So why, I wanted to ask you why run for a higher office, but that should be for another episode. But at least sa'yo, in your case, you have experience already, no?
Yes, I do.
It's not like other candidates who run for office and have not had any of that experience that you've had.
Yes, and you can imagine if I felt that way and I already have the experience and I've been in public office for 6 terms, 4 terms as councilor and 2 terms as vice mayor. You can imagine the feeling of somebody who just, just got elected for the first time.
Oo, oo. And what exactly, I mean, if you can summarize in 3 points what it is exactly you want to learn, what would that be?
One is the legislative process, how are bills passed, and two, how do I deal with the different agencies, and three, what do I do on my first year, on the first 100 days, the first year, second year, and the third year. So I think this should be timed properly and managed properly so that I can be an effective representative of the district.
Okay, we'll have to take a short break. News.PH will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News.PH on the Solar News channel. I'm Pio Ontiveros. Our guests tonight, Managing Director Rodney Hagulino from the Development Academy of the Philippines, Director Urban Manlangit from the Ateneo School of Government, and Representative-elect and Augusta Munting from the 2nd District of Parañaque. He's also Vice Mayor right now, incumbent until
June 30.
June 30. Okay. Kung hindi kayo LGU official or politiko or kandidato, pwede ring mag-enroll?
Yeah.
Yes? How can people do that? Like, you know, if you were going to promote your schools, right? How can people get to you and inquire as to enrollment, fees, etc.?
Actually, we advertise and we have this training calendar that we post and give to our
Okay.
clients.
So when is the next course, halimbawa? When is your next opening?
We have one on August 1 to 3 for newly elected governors, mayors, or the local chief executives. And we have for the council is June 17 to 19.
June or July?
July, sorry.
July.
July,
Okay.
17 to 19.
Oh, it's for senators, congressmen?
These are for councilors
Oo.
at the local level.
Yeah.
For the the national positions, actually, it's a customized course. It's more coaching and mentoring. So it's a dedicated course. So we
okay.
really customize the course for their needs, what they
Alright.
want to know,
Oo.
what are the areas for improvement that they need to know, and how they can really understand better the bureaucracy. So most of our courses actually for the higher positions are actually customized.
So is there a number people can call or what is the website for this? Because I'm sure it's not just politicians and officials who are interested, no? I mean,
Yeah.
pwede naman.
In the past we have people who are interested to, one, to join government, two, who are actually the officers or the staff of the politicians. So
Yeah.
they can avail of the courses that we have. We don't actually limit it to newly elected leaders, but there are courses, governance and leadership courses that we have. It's really to develop them better
Yes.
and to really improve their technical capacity so that they can really adapt to the work that they're going to do, either for the public official or for themselves to understand better the environment of the bureaucracy.
Rodney, if somebody wanted to sign up sa course ninyo, what would they do? How can they call?
DEP actually doesn't do public offering because DEP doesn't want to compete with Ateneo or UP and
not?
CPAG.
Okay.
But we do customized programs to really fit into the requirements or needs of. They can call us anytime if they want to have a
Okay, so how
customized
can they
program.
call you? What's your number?
We
What's
have
the number?
a website and then
Website address is?
www.edu.ph.
Okay, Ateneo, School of Government. We'll find that out soon. Okay, but yung fee, can you give us an idea, like how much do these congressmen, do these mayors, governors pay? Or is that a state secret?
Yeah, actually, it's a trade secret.
It's a trade secret. Okay.
No, it depends. I think we have the same course. It's about 4,000 a day for public course. So it's quite
Wow, that's
cheap
so, ano naman, that's so,
Regardless of the number.
sabi.
per day.
Okay. Who has signed up? Can you give us names?
If-
Naku, state secret din.
No, I think I don't know if we have our private. There are interested ones, but I'm not sure. Can we give that because there's a customized course?
Yes, well, we'd like to know. Is that okay? Kahit na customized course?
For
Kunyari for city in Parañaque, in Manila.
For the
What would
AP,
be-
we just finished the new elect Congresswoman of Lapu-Lapu City, Congresswoman Radasa, Eileen Radasa. And then, of course, in partnership with Ateneo and BQ, we have Congresswoman Lenny Robredo. And next week, we'll be having the former Deputy Speaker from Mindanao, Beng Climaco, the newly elect Mayor of Zamboanga City, and of course,
Ganun naman, para siyang back to school, no?
and
Kahit
of
na-
course, the newly elect Governor of Zamboanga, Sibugay, Governor Palma. As we speak right now, we have a team in Sarangani and General Santos City doing the same customized program for Manny Pacquiao, Jinky Pacquiao, Governor Solon of Sarangani, and Mayor Ronel Rivera of Jansan.
Sabay-sabay na silang apat.
Yeah, because we want to have an integrated area development program for Sarangani and Jansan.
Yeah. Without naming names, no, I'm sure you might be uncomfortable naming this. You know, what are your impressions of your students?
For me, we're very impressed with like Congressperson Eileen Radasa.
Why?
Because the module is very compressed and the schedule is very tight. So they start 8:30 and they end up 7:30. But you just can't imagine the kind of enthusiasm and openness and the reception that she's into during the.
Urban, can you tell us about the reception of your students, no, to courses like this? Because you talk about ethical leadership, good governance, transparency. How do all these people react to all these?
Well, it's very positive. I think it's a kind of a new thing for them to be talking about adaptive leadership, to be talking about servant leadership, which is unusual for some. So,
parang public service doesn't.
Kasi public
ring a
service
bell,
yung
no?
dating niya. And being Ateneo, I think the Jesuit dictum of man for others, or man and woman for others. So I think this is quite a revolutionizing, something that is not common to them because we're used to traditional leadership, kind of leadership. But I think the way we have done it in the school is making them aware that this is the kind of leadership that the country needs. So it's more servant type of leadership. So they learn a lot of principles about servant leadership and then adaptive leadership so that they can really introduce more reforms better through adaptive leadership.
Okay. So for them, you can see a paradigm shift. People are changing the way they think about politics and service. Ganun ba yun?
Oo. Marami sa kanila, I think because of this kind of discipline, the principles that they learn makes them more appreciative of what they can do for the country. So they are able to introduce reforms. It's more reform-oriented. The way they introduce reforms in terms of their programs and projects, including the policies that they bring to the table. By the way, I think Well, we are going to have a program for Ruth Padilla, Governor of Nueva Vizcaya. And you were mentioning how about the old leadership.
Yes.
I think the old leadership, because they have the new breed of their children getting into the office, we have also lined up a program for the D. Maybe
Okay.
that's surprising.
So
but they are very
hindi
much interested to be able to adapt to a new kind of leadership.
So hindi yung trapo, yung bimpo
Oo,
na lang.
hindi. Kasi ito yung
Alam
mga
niyo
younger
bimpo, di ba?
version.
Oo,
Younger
alam niyo yung bimpo? Batang inihain ng bagulang. So hindi ka naman bimpo, di ba? Okay. Yes, sir.
But you know,
We're about to end kasi.
sige po.
Sige.
Sige po, later na lang.
Later na lang. Okay, sa part 2. Okay. Gus, I wanted to ask you lang, so 4 terms as councilor, 2 terms as vice mayor, and then you're taking a course now in, you're about to take a course now in July sa Kongreso. How will your view of politics, how you see things, change when you take this course? Because I'm sure you will hear the same things that you heard from Orma and Rodney tonight that you will hear in that course.
I'd like to know more about what servant leadership and adaptive leadership is all about, because she mentioned about traditional leadership, and I think that's defined as, the top giving the orders. Tama po ba yan?
Oo,
Yan,
willing and
ano ba yung
dealing?
sabihin ng traditional at saka servant?
Is it the willing and
Ano po
dealing?
ba ibig sabihin nun? Ano po yung traditional leadership at saka nakaibahan po nun?
Well, the traditional leadership is one that builds just followers, that building
Patronage.
leaders.
It's more in
It's
patronage.
More
patronage.
patronage. You do this and you'll get this.
Yes.
Ganon.
It's
Just
really-
vote this way and...
It's imposing, I think. That's what you're strong and you get things done. But there, it's really doing,
Taking principled stands,
yes.
principled
So
positions.
one, it's really a servant type of leadership and adaptive leadership. It's really building, building people, developing them, and asking them what they need instead of imposing what
you think they need.
you need.
What you think
The
they
leader,
need.
what the
Yes.
leader needs.
Okay.
It's more adapting to a kind of reform. I think the idea there is that there are changes that are introduced. There are reforms that are introduced. So we make sure that they do actually reforms. We ask them to be able to see results, not just promises. I
Okay.
think that's the traditional type of leadership, when you make promises and you don't make action. So we ask them to be able to do something,
Okay.
something that is quite different.
Okay.
So yung traditional leadership, yun yung trapo na sinasabi.
I don't want to say that because probably I get into...
Magaling si Gus. Yun yung trapo, yung traditional. Yung bimpo, yun yung adaptive.
Yun.
Ay, hindi. No, not yet. Wait, yung bimpo, yun yung batang inihaan ng magulang sa politika. Hindi.
For
Yes,
the
Rod.
EP, aside from being an adaptive leader, we're building a transformative leader. At the same time, we call that one bridging leadership.
Yeah.
Because your constituency should have an ownership of your advocacies.
Right.
And should have an ownership of your targets, not just the promises. Like for example, for Congressperson Lenny Robredo, of course, there's a brand of good governance that Jess Robredo pursued during his entire life. So that created an expectation already.
Right.
But we told Congressperson Robredo that you really have to deliver.
Yes.
If not, then the brand will eventually dissipate.
Okay. Well, we'll have to say thank you and goodbye to our guests because we've already ran out of time. So thank you very much to Rodney Hagolino, Orma Manlangit, and Gus Damuding. Maraming salamat. Thank you for being here. We should have you again
Thank you, ma'am.
in the
Thank you
future.
also for
I'm
having
Pio
us.
Ontiveros. This is News.PH. See you again next Wednesday. Good night. if the new breed is ethical?
Well, we are into the era of good governance, I think.
Okay.
And we want to populate that. And because we are an institution, a graduate, our program is actually called Graduate Program for... Teka muna. It's called the Graduate School for Leaders and Public Management.
Yeah, okay. You don't cater to the old breed like you were saying? Hindi sila kasama? Para bang ganon?
Hindi naman, but I think yung pag-include sa mga
Governance that will be bringing to Congress or to the local government unit. And usually the faculty that we get are really practitioners. So we don't get academics without experience.
Okay. Urma Manlangit, tell us about what the Ateneo School of Government offers.
Actually, we have a lot of programs. It's called Local Governance and Public Management. We have also effective legislation and governance. So these are some of the courses. And most of our courses are actually directed to new and reform-oriented public officials. We want, as much as possible, to build a cadre of new breed of ethical leaders who can really, demonstrate good governance.
Okay, why? What's wrong? Good evening, I'm Pia Ontiveros. This is News.PH, but it's not politics as usual. Tonight, we talk about the crash courses for legislators and local government officials. We have with us Managing Director Rodney Hagulino from the Development Academy of the Philippines.
Executive coaching program for the newly elected officials. We term that program Local Governance and Development Program.
Okay. And then for the national?
It's for Congress. It's legislative coaching program for new elect, and we name that program Development Legislation and Governance.
Okay. Hindi ba ito mahirap? Para bang nagiging crash course talaga siya, no? Everything they need to know squeezed into 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. And then ang laki-laki ng responsibilidad nila.
That's why when we say it's a customized program, we take the essentials of the kind of governance.
Director Urma Manlangit from the Ateneo School of Government and Representative-elect Gus Tamunting from the 2nd District of Parañaque City. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Director Hagulino, Director Manlangit, and Congressman-elect Tamunting, or Rodney, Urma, and Gus. That's shorter.
Yes.
Okay, let's begin with Rodney and Urma. Tell us the rationale for the courses that you offer. Rodney, let's begin with you.
Yeah. We offer a customized program for newly elected officials, both at the national level and the local level.
Okay, when you say national, that means?
It means senators and congresspersons.
And then local level, yung mga mayors,
that includes the mayor, governors, and the legislative branch also in the local department.
What are all these courses?
For the local government, it's the